Hi everyone, Jon.Kozesky here with the Green Area Chamber of Commerce, your small business advocate. This week we're continuing our distance socializing with some good friends of our Green Area community, Anthony Zimbardi and Greg Donnelly of AssuredPartners. Greg, Anthony, how are you today?
Doing well, doing well. How are you, sir?
Doing very good, doing good. Now, first and foremost, guys, everybody is home and healthy, I hope.
We are. We're staying home and staying, safe as possible, keeping our distance. Feel very fortunate that everyone I know is healthy. My wife is a nurse at Akron Children's Hospital, and my brother-in-law is an ER doctor at Akron City Hospital. And so hearing what they go through on a daily basis is just such an eye-opener. But I'm so proud of them for being on the front line and doing what they can to help our community and the people who need medical attention. It's just affecting all of us in so many different ways. So very proud to have them.
Absolutely. Well,
Same.
Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Go ahead, Jen. Yeah, I was going to say, same here. Everybody's healthy, thank goodness. And our hearts and prayers go out to the people that are struggling during this time. I do have a daughter that's a nurse practitioner at UH and a daughter-in-law that's a nurse practitioner at the Cleveland Clinic. So they're both out there fighting the fight. And we've got another daughter that's home from Kent State. She's in grad school at Kent State. And she's doing her best to stay positive. She would much rather be there with her friends as opposed to mom and dad here in Avon Lake. But she's doing her best. And I've got a son in Lakewood who's in the financial business, and he's able to conduct business too. So we're all good. Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And our hats are off to your family members on the front lines. They're certainly our heroes in all this. So please give them our best.
Thanks, Jen.
So,
Thank you.
So guys, tell us all, for anybody who's not familiar, a little bit about AssuredPartners and what you do.
Sure. So, Jan, AssuredPartners, at the end of the day, what we are, we're insurance brokers. So what that means is that we help people buy insurance. And this could be property casualty insurance, employee benefits, what we call surety bonding, or even individual products like automobile insurance, life insurance, and that type of thing. So at the end of the day, what we want to be for our customers is that trusted advisor. And so a little history on our company. We started in 2011 with about $350 million of private equity money. We're now about $1.3 billion with over 6,000 employees.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And then we've got some new people like Anthony that have come into the firm. So let me toss this over to Anthony for his thoughts on that.
Yeah, just to echo kind of what Greg said, we offer an array of insurance products. Greg and I specifically focus on employee benefits and group health care. And, we try to say that we're not in the business of just quoting insurance. We like to take the approach of really just having a conversation with business owners and decision makers at employers. Spending time to know, what their business is and what they do and their employee population, understand their initiatives, their pain points, and then explore what options are best available, for their needs. There's a number of tools and resources out there that can really limit healthcare costs and make the lives of your team and your employees easier. And really just understanding how healthcare works is a big part of our job. There's a level of consumerism with healthcare. I look at it like buying a car. You wouldn't buy a car from the first dealership you go to, whereas if you needed a knee replacement or an MRI, you shouldn't always go to the first hospital or the one that's closest to your home or first that comes to mind. But at the end of the day, our goal is to really just understand if it makes sense to work together, and that all starts with that conversation.
Unless that car dealership's along Arlington Road, and then you are perfect. All right, well, guys, so it sounds interesting. We know a little bit more about what you do, but now let's transition a little bit. We're living in a different world than we were 8 weeks ago. I'm sure your business is no different than all of ours. It's all changed a little bit. So tell us about how this has affected you and how you've adapted to it.
Well, it's been a very different, new experience, to say the least. But we feel very fortunate that we're in an industry that is considered essential. I thank God every day for my health and the fact that I'm getting a paycheck and still able to work. I know a number of people who currently are out of a job and are not getting that steady income that they're used to. But we've been working from home for over a month now. We feel like we're built for this situation. It's been a very seamless transition for most of us to work from home, all things considered. But luckily we live in a world where we have things like Zoom and Ring Central and even just phone and email to stay connected to our clients and to take care of them when they need us the most. Just things like information, things are constantly changing, keeping them updated and informed. It's really helping us to help our clients get through the everyday challenges.
Yeah, and I think too, John, one of the things that we've instituted, so every Friday at 2 p.m. we have a national, what we call town hall. In that town hall, we have about, 6 different disciplines come on and give a little talk about things like the CARES Act, and so we try to get that communication going. We have upwards of 2,000 people on that call at a given time, and it's just a way of keeping that communication going and touching base with both our customers and our prospects.
That's fantastic. And I think you really hit the nail on the head there. The communication right now is key, whether it's with your customers, your clients, even with your family. Communication is key right now, and you guys are really on the forefront of that. So I commend you. So we have a lot of viewers at home that are looking for some industry knowledge. So what would you say to them they should be doing right now? What should they be aware of? And how do they best position themselves?
I think just in a very general sense, what we try to do is stay connected. So that's really the key, and it's the challenge that we have right now is how do we stay connected? And that's on 2 fronts, really 3 fronts. Number 1, how do we stay connected with our employees? So how do we keep engaged? How do we keep the team going? And how do we make sure that we're all marching in the same direction? So that's a big part of what we spend time on. And so to do that, we have touch points throughout the week. So we probably have 4 different touch points where we bring the team together. We all kind of talk about what we're experiencing, what's going on, and how we can help each other. Secondly, I would say be connected to your customers. This is a time we can use this kind of technology to really reach out. And we've had very effective meetings with our customers, gone through some very detailed information. We can share information on the screen and everything like that. So it is a time that we can just be there for our customers. I think that's as simple as it might sound. I think being there is just critical at this time.
Absolutely.
And then thirdly, I think it's really kind of understanding if you're a business owner and I think the temptation is to say, well, I just had to put myself on pause right now. I can't really get business done. And I think that what we have to understand is, we can still do business. We can still get new customers. We can still approach our prospects, and we can get things done. It's doable. So there's no need to go totally on pause. Let's keep going. Let's get it done.
Absolutely.
So those are the 3 things I would say. Anthony, what do you think?
Just to add to that, this is something that I've been a big advocate, and our company as a whole has been big advocates of, is telehealth services. So for the people at home who may not know what telehealth service is, it's essentially like FaceTiming a doctor. It's a virtual visit that you can do from the comfort of your own home. And so what I've been recommending to clients and prospects alike, but even just family and friends, is that if you're not feeling well, if you have a headache, an earache, your allergies are acting up, whatever the case may be, set up a virtual call. Make that first step to getting that medical attention that you need. And that's with a licensed doctor, and have them direct you what to do. Whether it's go to the ER or just, prescribe a drug that you may need, or a refill, whatever the case may be. The thought here is to stay home as much as possible and to avoid the ER environment. Hospitals are a very dangerous place right now, so unless you absolutely have to go, don't go. Start with the telehealth service.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that is great advice, certainly for all of our viewers at home. We're almost out of time, guys, but Anthony, I want to you real quick. We've talked a lot about connections and how important connections are, and you have a very extensive connection to our green community. Do you want to just briefly touch on that real quick?
Yeah, great question. I'm glad you asked. I'm born and raised in Greene. My family owns Giuseppe's Pizza, Akron's best, and Guy's Party Center. Both are 3rd generation, still in the family. And I moved away for a couple years, but I found my way back here, and then I'm I'm planning on starting a family here. I just got married last year, but Green's my home at heart and it always will be.
There you go. Well, I never miss the opportunity to promote some good pizza on our show. Certainly one of the best in our area, and they've always been a good friend to our small business community. So certainly look them up online. I'm sure they're still more than happy to deliver you a pizza right now. So guys, real quick before we go, it sounds like you're keeping busy, but we all have a little bit of extra time on our hands. Greg, Anthony, Greg, is that one of your personal paintings at this point behind you, or have you taken up any other new hobbies?
No, thanks for asking. Actually, that painting came from Tanzania. My in-laws were in Tanzania for 4 years. So no. But as far as personal hobbies go, I play the bagpipes, John. So I take this time to kind of learn a few extra tunes and continue on with that hobby. But I've got to get this little plug in, John. So I was kind of thinking about, our little show here today. And just a recommendation for people. I think you got to keep your sense of humor up during this time. And what I would recommend to folks is to check out Carol Burnett and Tim Conway on YouTube. And for a lot of people, they're not even going to know who Carol Burnett and Tim Conway are. But Tim Conway's from Willoughby, Ohio.
Yep.
And you got to check him out. It's pretty cool. Anyway, keep a sense of humor.
Absolutely. One of our favorite sons right there, Tim Conway. I will always welcome a plug for him. Anthony, real quick before we go, any new hobbies?
More of just, I'm now a home improvement specialist, self-proclaimed. We've been doing a lot of things around the house. I've been reading a little bit, cooking, but also buying local. We're trying to, get carry out at least, 2 or 3 times a week. Trying to support our local businesses. I know restaurants are really struggling right now. We also get tired of cooking every single meal, so it's nice to get out once in a while and also help people in the process. I'm really hoping this weather gets warmer. I know it's late April. I was hoping for some warmer weather by now, but any chance we get, we go outside. We have a 2-year-old golden retriever that we take on frequent walks. But I've also been golfing a little bit. We're lucky to have courses still open, and they're practicing the social distancing, and it's nice to get out on the weekends and play around if I can.
Well, there you go. That's a great plug for our Green Area Chamber golf outing coming up in August. So stay tuned for details on that. We'll welcome you there.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. A big thank you to Greg and Anthony with AssuredPartners for joining us. We have their information here on the screen if you want to reach out for some more information. Unfortunately, we ran out of time before Greg could break out his bagpipes, so stay tuned for our next video where we're going to see that. But in the meantime, keep home, keep healthy, and keep shopping local.